Okay, so despite the S hitting the fan in 2020, motorcycle companies have sort of managed to limp through the year and even introduce a few new bikes. Kawasaki launched the new KLX 300s and a new KLR. Well, it's basically the same old KLR with fuel injection. Triumph's new Speed Triple just dropped. Aprilia is about to bring us the Touareg 660. Harley, updated their paint. And to be fair, is finally going to roll out the Pan America. And Honda introduced the CRF 300s and the Rebel 1100, a bike I predicted way back in April. However, due to the pandemic or other reasons, who knows, several motorcycles that were rumored to be coming out in 2021 have either been delayed or downright cancelled. So in this video, we'll take a look at some of these motorcycles, scour the interwebs for news of their possible launch dates, and engage in some good old-fashioned speculation, which never did anybody any harm. Unless you were shorting GameStop. So shed a tear for those who deserve it most, the Wall Street billionaires. Settle in and consider hitting that subscribe button and liking the video, which will help us bring you more motorcycle content. So you sold your shares of GameStop and your Dogecoin and are eager to run out and get yourself an Africa Twin 850 or one of the KTM 490s, or perhaps a naked sport bike built by Harley Davidson. Only problem is, none of these bikes have come out as expected. Yet, I will admit that these machines, with the exception of the Harley, could come out soon after this video airs and make me look like a fool. But at least as of the publishing of this video, they're nowhere to be seen. Let's take a look at why this may be and try to figure out when they could be on their way. Also, let's give Harley some advice on how to make the Bronx profitable, because I'm sure Harley CEO Jochen Zeist watches this channel intently. Finally, I know that someone will pipe in talking about the Husqvarna Norden 901 because it seems to have been endlessly delayed. However, it is 100% being launched soon. Journalists have already ridden it, so it doesn't belong in a discussion about could-have-beens. It's a soon-to-be. But let's start with the middleweight Africa Twin because Honda made me look bad here. I correctly predicted the Rebel 1100 last spring, as well as a bunch of other motorcycle news this year. What I didn't get right though is the middleweight Africa Twin. Almost a year ago I put out a video on Honda planning to build an 800 or 850cc Africa Twin based on the NC750 platform, and as of now, there is no sign of that bike. The time to release that bike is now, Honda. The Yamaha Tenere 700 is selling out as or even before it hits dealer showrooms, and the whole middleweight adventure bike segment is red hot. Honda has an Africa Twin 1100, which is at the very high end of the spectrum in terms of engine size and price, and it has the CB500X, which sits almost between the middleweight and the small adventure bike classes. However, a direct competitor to the Tenere 700 does not exist right now. Most of the Euro bikes are much more expensive, and the KLR 650, while quite a bit less expensive, is just not as good a bike. What a lot of riders are looking for is a middleweight Africa Twin with Honda reliability and a price tag similar to the Yamaha. I know that because every time I put out an adventure bike video, someone in the comments is wishing for a smaller Africa Twin. The demand is there, so why hasn't Honda filled it? Well, it could be this bug that's going around. Between global chaos and factory shutdowns, a lot of projects were not completed on schedule. The Pan America was supposed to be out in 2020 and is now scheduled for release in February. But despite rumors from people in the know and even some specific inside information, the smaller Africa Twin hasn't even been publicly acknowledged by Honda. So besides the pandemic, what else could be delaying it? Even announcing an official release later this year could make some potential customers wait rather than running out and buying a T7 right now. Maybe Honda wants to have the bike ready for the showroom by the time they announce it. It was 4 years between the introduction of the T7 and the bike actually hitting the showroom. Honda may want to avoid such delays, as the new Rebel and CRFs should be in showrooms in a couple of months, not years. Bad strategy in my opinion, as late or not, the T7 had generated so much hype upon its release, success was almost assured. Or maybe Honda is struggling to get the weight or the price of the bike low enough to compete with Yamaha. Perhaps their prototype was not up to snuff and the engineering team needed to go back to the drawing board to shave pounds or simplify the bike and get it in at a lower price. Either way, if you're eagerly waiting to see what Honda comes out with here, and judging by the results of the poll I put up this week, many people are, speak up in the comments and let Big Red know that the demand is there. Now, KTM has officially admitted that they're rolling out a whole range of 500cc twin-cylinder bikes. They included the range in a leaked image which shows a 490 RC Duke Adventure as well as what looks like a Supermoto and an Adventure Tourer. Since the Duke is the least blurred and was the first bike to hit the dealers in the 890 displacement, it may well be that it's going to be the first 490 to the dealerships as well. However, given the popularity of adventure bikes, don't be surprised to see the 490 Adventure go into action soon as well. Rumor was that these bikes would splash down as possible 2021 models, but since they're not out yet, 2022 is likely to be the first model year. Again, the pandemic is probably to blame for the delays, but I can vouch for the fact that these motorcycles are eagerly awaited. This being a channel that, at least in part, focuses on adventure bikes, I get plenty of comments from people who want a powerful sub 400 pound off-road capable adventure motorcycle. And no other manufacturer is more capable of making that dream come true than KTM. And so we come to Harley Davidson. Now Harley is about to release the Pan America in February, and hopefully the Custom at some later point in 2021. Already the Pan America has been delayed, but given the circumstances, it's hard to blame Harley. What we can blame Harley for is cancelling the Bronx and ceding the high-performance naked motorcycle market to the Japanese and the Europeans. And now Indian. So why was this bike cancelled? Oh, I know, it was going to be too heavy, too slow, too poor handling, and or too expensive to compete with the other naked bikes. Case in point, the newly updated Yamaha MT-09 produces the same claimed power as the Bronx, weighs 417 pounds full of gas, and costs $9,400 US. Think the Bronx would hit those weight and price numbers? The truth is that Harley execs probably realized that the Bronx would end up costing more than the MT-09, KTM Duke 890, or Triumph Street Triple, and that it would finish last in a performance comparison with those bikes because the companies that make them had engineering teams with more experience and overseas factories that could produce the product for less. And so Harley gave up. But there is a solution, a way to compete in the market without having to beat the others on performance. How? 2 words. Cafe Racer. About a year ago, pictures were leaked of 2 Harley prototypes sporting the 975cc Revolution Max engine that was to power the Bronx. One was a flat tracker, the other a Cafe Racer. Now the flat tracker is my personal fave, but let's talk about that Cafe Racer for a second because that could be this engine's saving grace. Maybe the Bronx could not compete with other 900cc naked bikes on performance and price, but it certainly can hang with the Cafe Racer crowd. It should absolutely murder the less expensive cafe racers like the Royal Enfield Continental GT, the Suzuki SV650X, and the Ducati Scrambler Cafe Racer. It's probably on par performance-wise with more expensive bikes like the Triumph Thruxton and BMW R9T. Maybe even a bit lighter and better handling. The beauty of the Cafe Racer is that it's the same bike as the Bronx, just styled differently, but it doesn't compete against the same bikes that the Bronx would have to take on. The styling of a bike, not so much the performance, is what matters to the hipster crowd, and Harley knows how to style a bike. Make a Bronx Cafe Racer and make it look cool, and make it somewhat affordable, and the millennials will buy it the same way they buy Ducati Scramblers. While you're at it, Harley, make a 750 version based on the street motor, and there's your entry-level bike. Just as long as it doesn't look like a street. Many younger customers like stuff that's cool and has heritage, and Harley has the heritage and the designers who know how to make a bike look cool. A line of these bikes in 750 and 975cc displacements, styled well and supported by a campaign aimed at younger riders, something like Ducati's Land of Joy, cheesy as it is, would move a lot of bikes and get younger people into Harleys. So there it is. 3 bikes that need to happen but are not yet in sight. What's your favorite? Drop your comments below and I hope you get what you want. Ride safe and don't forget to invest that GameStop money in something that's going to the moon, like Harley stock. Oh wait, that's a topic for another video. If you're interested in any of the gear that Brooke and I wear or use, or the camera equipment we use to film this channel, the links are below. Everything listed there was bought with our own money and we are not sponsored by any company. However, the links below are affiliate links and the channel is paid a small amount for referring you to shop at no additional cost to you. We do not recommend any products that we are not satisfied with ourselves, but we do strongly urge you to do your research and select the correct size for items like helmets and clothing. As always, thanks for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And whatever you ride, enjoy it. Wave at other bikers no matter what they're riding, we're all part of a brotherhood and sisterhood. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and may the spokes be with you.